to do was to make up dances. When there were popular songs on the radio, my friends and I, we literally would like make up the choreography to it, and we just have fun. To this day, I still remember one of our favorite songs to make up a dance to was No Scrubs by TLC. So you can totally tell I'm a 90s kid all the way. So every time the song would come on, just imagine like 3 little 6-year-old girls, and we're like, come on guys, come on, get ready, get ready. And then we'd be like, no scrubs, no scrubs. And then like I would slide on the floor that way, and my friend Krista would slide on the floor this way. And then we'd come back and we just like break it down and like have so much fun. As I've gotten older, I started to wonder what happens to that imagination and that creativity that we used to have when we were little. And I realized that as we become adults, I think sometimes we need to find creative outlets or hobbies where we can channel that imagination into so that we can let it go a little more freely. Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, my message to you all tonight is to let Toastmasters be one of your creative outlets. Not only can you choose whatever topic in the world you want to speak about, but you can also get really creative in your use of visual aids. So I've noticed that one common type of visual aid we like to use in Toastmasters is PowerPoint. It's quick, it's easy, a lot of us are familiar with how to use it, and you can convey information, charts, photos really easily. So for example, I have a photo of a busy street in New Delhi, India. Now imagine that you and I are on this busy street in India, and just imagine what it would feel like when people are quickly walking past you, and maybe they're brushing past you as they're going. Maybe you can hear a bunch of sounds in the environment, like music playing, or people shouting, or laughing, or babies crying. Maybe you can smell aromas in the air, like the sweet fragrance from a perfume shop. Or maybe it's hot grease from a restaurant that's nearby and it's cooking your favorite meal. In just a few short moments, what I've done is transported you all from this ordinary room in the Union to New Delhi, India, just by the use of a detailed description combined with my visual aid. Another type of visual aid that I really like are props. And I have my prop here, which is my tea bowl. And I made this tea bowl a couple years ago in a ceramics class that I took here. And the cool thing about having props is that you almost can't help but to like act out whatever it is you're saying when you have them in your hands. So when I hold this tea bowl in my hands, it instantly takes me back to that class when I was there and I was struggling, trying to learn how to make this. And I put my blood, sweat, and tears into all of my ceramic objects. And I hated it. I literally hated that class. Like every Tuesday, Thursday, I dreaded going to this class because it was so hard. But I digress. So every time I would go to that class, I would go to my station, which was a kick wheel. And so at the bottom, you have this large wheel, and you kick it with your foot, and it propels the top wheel to spin. So you get your wet clay, and you throw it on that spinning wheel, and you're still kicking, and you use the momentum from that spinning combined with your upper body strength to compress that clay on either side, and you get it perfectly centered. So after you have it centered, you have to use your thumbs, and you make an indentation in the middle, which is what's happening in that first photo. You have your indentation, and then you work to pull the clay upward, which is what's happening in the middle photo. Pulling is literally the hardest part of making ceramics. Like every time I would have my clay just almost perfectly tall enough, it had to be 10 inches, every time it would like get off balance and it'd be like, meh, and like just fall over. And then you have to start the whole process all over again. But and as much as I hated that class, I had to stick with it. And I'm really glad that I did, because in the end, I made something beautiful. Well, I think it's beautiful anyway, so again, in this situation, I've taken you all back to that class with me using a detailed description combined with my visual aid. So I want to impress upon you guys, when you're thinking about your speeches in the future, don't just think about the words that you're saying, also think about your visual aids. What are they doing to enhance your speech? Think about your vocal variety. How are you sounding? Are you excited? Are you passionate? Are you bored? Think about that. And also your body language. Are you using your arms or your body to portray whatever situation you're setting up? So think about all those things. But most of all, have fun with it. Be imaginative and let that inner child out, just like we used to back in the day. Madam Toastmaster?